Welcome to the presentation about the new version 4.0.0 of Gliva T1. If you already are familiar with T1, you will immediately recognize and love the new UI. If you are a new user, we think you will like it too. And even more important, T1 will come with new features which will increase the efficiency of your work. The graphical user interface supports dark theme now. We expect many of you will switch to this theme. The GUI is unified and optimized to support the analysis. T1 Explorer will give you one central place to analyze your system and measurements in a table tree view. In T1 Explorer, you can browse through the call tree and get all the information you need to understand your software. The connection to Target is as easy as it was in the past. The documentation was reworked, and you are guided by the relevant use cases and with extended tooltips within the graphical user interface. Let me explain these topics in more detail now. The user guidance is streamlined to 4 levels now. First level. Gliva provides general know-how about analysis of real-time systems in channels like books, videos, conference speeches. Second level. Use case-centric approach in user documentation, guide you of why to do certain steps. Third level. Tooltips support you in T1 GUI how to do things. Fourth level. Detailed information provided in reference guides. As T1 supports various use cases in the development cycle, the use cases are structured into the following groups: planning and preparation, analysis, debugging, optimization, verification. In all of these groups, T1 can bring value to your project. Let's go into more detail. In planning and preparation, you will find ideas how T1 can support in early phases of the development cycle. Analysis is the foundation for later debugging, optimization, and verification use cases. It describes the background of the important metrics and how to measure them with T1. Debugging shows you approaches how to find typical issues with T1. Optimization gives hints how to reduce the resource consumption in your system. And last but not least, and one of the most important topics, verification shows how to use T1 for continuous testing and monitoring of timing and memory requirements. Extended tooltips will give you more guidance directly in T1 GUI now. Background of specific options to understand the meaning of the values. Understand the definition of a timing metric. These approach will provide you the required information in the current context of your work. Another class of tooltips are dynamic tooltips, which gives you additional information in the current context. For example, details about elements in T1 scope view. These kind of tooltips you can disable if they disturb you during your work. With the target control view, you can link to the target, start-stop tracing, and download trace data in the established easy manner. The background color of T1 gives you instant feedback about the connection status. Green reflects that the measurement and tracing runs on the target. The control interfaces for T1 target software features allows an easy overview about all subsystems, and you can browse through the configuration. If you want to rerun a measurement or reconfigure it, you can do in the context of target control now. With T1 version 4.0.0, T1 Explorer is introduced to T1 host software. The basic idea is to have one central place for all relevant static and measured data. T1 Explorer visualizes T1 timing, T1 stack, and T1 access predictor information in a tree table view. You can select between different presets for different use cases. On the left, you can browse the system tree. additional context-specific information are shown in detailed views. For example, on the right you find the properties, which give all the details of the current selected element. You can search, filter, and sort the data. But now comes the real powerfulness of T1 Explorer. All measurement results are collected and aggregated in one table in real time. Let us connect to the target. In this case, a microcontroller with 4 cores. The data, collected by T1 Cont, will be shown in T1 Explorer and in the T1 Cont table view in parallel now. Now let us download the trace data of all cores. This data will also included in the timing table in T1 Explorer. You can add additional timing information to the table or arrange the values in the table in another order. Your customized settings will be persisted for your next work session. For a first overview, you can focus on the aggregated values of the timing metrics. If you need further details of the single measurements, you simply navigate one level below and can analyze the single measurement sources. Here T1 Cont and T1 Scope measurement. You need more data? The context menu will offer you which additional measurements can be done in the current context. For example, with 2 mouse clicks you can collect timing data for all runnables of a task. As you have seen, color coding gives you hints which timing information are changed recently. We are sure that the efficiency of your timing analysis will be improved with T1 Explorer starting now. Let's take a deeper look into T1 Explorer call tree. The call tree is extracted by static analysis from the system image. It is a mighty tool to understand your software structure. On call tree nodes of interest, you can inspect either the implementation of the function or switch to the context in which the function is called in. The details view source code for selection in call tree. You can always open the source code view to inspect the implementation of the function in parallel to the calling context. You need more information. Start a measurements directly in the call tree to get the timing information of the current function. In T1 version 4.0.0, only global, not context-specific measurements are supported. This will be introduced in the next release. The symbol browser supports now the analysis of structs and arrays. I will move the symbol browser to the main window to demonstrate this. Let us filter on data elements. The icons on the left will give you already guidance about the type of element. Let us open a struct and browse to the single elements of the struct. You can even start measurements on this detailed level now. Let's demonstrate another new feature with a trace from our ELK demo. Due to the huge amount of processes threads, it is a challenge to get an overview about the system even in our simple example. By zooming out in T1 Scope view, you can create a condensed view of the whole system. Now you see the timing of the whole system in one picture. This will increase the understanding of your system and anomalies can be detected easily. You want to have the most important timing metrics always in your view on your desk? T1 Gadget extends your timing cockpit to physical devices. Simply connect to your PC and configure the devices according to your needs. You are interested? Please contact our sales team how to make this happen. Enjoy your experience with T1 version 4.0.0.